Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel for another pregnancy related video. Today I thought I would go over the birth options slash birth plan that is offered here to us. So for me, I will be having birth at Naval Hospital Guam. We are a military family, so that is our option here. There are other options you can have if you're more into like home births, which is not us. I want it to be done in the hospital. If something goes wrong, I want to have all the medical attention that I need. There is like smaller places that does birthing, which are amazing, I'm sure, that let you labor in the tub and things like that. The only problem is that if anything goes wrong emergency-wise, you are not transported to a Naval Hospital, you're transported to Guam's big hospital, and it is not the greatest care from what I've heard, so they won't take you to Naval Hospital. So that's the downfall if you're having birth off of base. So we chose just to have birth at Naval Hospital, and so that's what I'm going over today. This is the flyer that they gave us for what our birth options are and for things to start thinking about in regards to childbirth. So me and Rowdy, my husband, have already been talking about this list, and we're going to be turning it in tomorrow. We meant to take it this last time but didn't get to it. But I am 37 and 5 days today. So we are down to the final stretch. We have like 2.5 weeks max until we really meet little guy. If I hit my due date and I'm still haven't gone into labor, we're going to be talking about induction. So that'll be a couple days before his due date. But yeah, so I thought I would just go over this with you guys and see. I don't know if this is all Naval hospitals, if it's the same list they give across the board, but that is what they offer here in Guam. So if you are coming to island, if you're a military family and you are pregnant, hopefully this is helpful for what to expect. So the first thing is, so basically it just gives you different sections, and then you just check what you are planning. So the first thing is prior to admission. So I'm going to list the things and then I'll talk about what we are choosing to do. So prior to admission, I would like to walk during labor, move around and change positions frequently, shower during labor, and drink fluids during early labor. So I obviously want to be able to walk around during labor. I don't want to be stuck in one position. I want to be able to move freely and do what's going to be comfortable to get me through labor. So obviously check marking that. Moving around, like I said, and changing positions frequently. I want to be as comfortable as I can be. So check mark. Shower during labor. This I've heard can relieve a lot of pain. This isn't something that's a necessity for me. I probably won't be checking this. I don't want to be like all wet and stuff. Like be in a tub, be in a shower, like that's just not my thing. So probably not for me. Drinking fluids, I would obviously like to be drinking fluids during labor just to stay hydrated. Moving on to labor itself. So it says labor, I would like to bring music and a player with me to use in labor, have intermediate fetal monitoring, have continuous fetal monitoring, have the lights be kept low, and have these people supporting me in labor. So the first one is bring music. I want to have this option if I so choose, so I will be checking this box. I have a little portable speaker. We call it our shower speaker because that's typically where it stays. It's one of those like J something. I can't remember the brand, but it's a really popular brand. It's a great brand if you need a portable speaker. But we'll be charging that and packing that in our hospital bag just in case. I'll probably create like a calming music playlist. That way if I want to listen to music, I can. But we'll see. I'm probably going to be exhausted, or I'm someone who likes to just watch TV. We plan on bringing our Fire Stick probably. That way we can just hook it up to the TV in the hospital room and I can throw something on the TV because we've been told that the channels are hot garbage. So we are gonna do that. I am choosing probably to have continuous fetal monitoring, especially I plan on getting an epidural, so that's the plan if all goes well. And I just want him to be able to be monitored. Obviously, I want the monitoring as long as I'm able to still freely move around. I don't want to be confined, so that is something, but I do want him to be monitored because obviously if anything goes wrong, I want them to be able to step in and intervene. Have the lights be kept low. Yes, I've been told this is probably a must, just because hospital, like those fluorescent lights, just to have like a calming effect. So if they could be kept low and just like a calm feel to my room, that is what I would enjoy the most. And then have these people supporting me. My husband is going to be my support person, so Rowdy. We don't really have a ton of friends or family that I would, well, we don't have any family here, and I don't have any friends that I would really want in the labor and delivery room with me. So Rowdy is my main support person, and I think he's going to be amazing in that role. He's already an amazing papa, dad, so I'm sure that he's going to succeed in that as well. Pain control is the next category. So it says pain control. I would like to ask if I desire medication since I know all options. Avoid pain medications and I want to use the following for pain management. Use IV pain medication during labor or have an epidural for pain relief. So I'm obviously opting for the epidural if all goes to plan and if it works correctly, but I know there's a lot of you who want a natural birth, and we went recently to the hospital tour class and what to expect once we're admitted class. They just finally started opening classes back up since pre-COVID, and it was a fantastic class. If you are going to be delivering here in Guam, I highly recommend taking advantage of those classes. They have that one, they've got a breastfeeding class, they have a first 6 weeks of life, which Rowdy just went to last week. I unfortunately had to work, but yeah, so take advantage of all those classes. But as I was getting to, that class is done with one of the nurses, and she was fantastic. She was talking about how they're awesome about honoring what your beliefs are, what you want. If you bring a birth plan or there's something that you want specific to your room, they're pretty good about kind of stepping back and allowing you to kind of run the show. So if you are going to be delivering at Naval Hospital Guam, that's what I've been told. I will have to give you an updated story after I give birth, but that is good to know. But yeah, I plan on having an epidural. Delivery, I would like to have my family to take photos of my baby. That is a yes. Obviously, I film and want YouTube stuff. I don't know. I don't plan on filming like the birth itself, but I might want to film a little bit during labor and kind of just how I'm feeling to be able to look back on. So that's something, but I'm not holding myself to an expectation that I'm going to do that. I do want family to take photos of the baby. I want Rowdy, as in my family as in Rowdy, to take photos of the baby. I want those memories to look back on, so that is 100% going to be checked. Use different positions to help when I push. I'm all for that. Obviously, I'm a first-time mom. I don't know what to expect, or what I do expect is basically what I've watched on YouTube, stories that I've heard from friends, family watching stuff. So I really am going to put my faith in my labor and delivery nurses and my doctor for what's going to be best for me in that scenario. And I would love if a different position is going to be better and they tell me that's what I need to do. I'm all for it. Use a mirror so I can see my baby as it is being born. This is not a necessity for me. Like, I don't want to see that. And I know nothing against anyone who does, but I don't want to see that. So no, I will not be using a mirror. Have guidance when pushing to help the perineum stretch. Have guidance when pushing. If I need it, but obviously I want to try to do things on my own, and then if I need it later, then we'll talk about that. So checked, but as like if I need help. Have my baby placed upon my abdomen after he or she is born if possible. or have my baby dried and cleaned up before I hold him or her. I don't care how nasty. I'm gonna be nasty from giving birth, so I want my baby, if possible, to be placed right on my chest afterward, and they can kind of clean him as I'm holding him, so that doesn't gross me out. I'm gonna be nasty and gonna need a shower after birth anyway. So some people might want him to be dried off and cleaned, but I'm all for what they consider the golden hour, which is basically they wait to do all of baby's vitals and weight and height and all of that until after the first hour. That way you get skin to skin and bonding time with baby. You get to try to breastfeed right away. I fully plan on taking advantage of that as long as it is medically okay for me to do so and nothing goes wrong. Have blank to cut the cord. I plan on having Rowdy cut the cord. He's already decided that he wants to cut the cord, so obviously if that grosses you out or you're not into that, you can have the doctor do it, but my husband will be doing it. And then the final thing is see the placenta after it is delivered. For me, this is a negatory. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. Like, it grosses me out. I know that it's a natural body. I'm part of giving birth, but I could care less. I don't want to see that. Take it away, please. I'm not someone who wants to encapsulate a placenta, anything like that. No shame against those who believe in that or want to do that. All the power to you, but for me, I don't want to see it. Then we're moving into after delivery. I would like to hold my baby while the placenta is being delivered. Yes, like I said, I want to do the whole golden hour, so obviously I'm going to be delivering the placenta while that happens. So obviously, yes, I will want to hold my baby while that happens. Have my partner go with baby to the nursery if he or she needs closer observation. Yes, I would much rather my husband go with my child. I'm an adult, I can figure it out on my own. I'm gonna be in pain anyway and probably be out of it. So our first priority is gonna be our son. And so yes, Rowdy will be the one who goes if needs to. Pray that we don't. Feed my baby as soon as possible after delivery. Yes, I plan on trying to breastfeed naturally, so that will hopefully happen within that first golden hour. Have the eye ointment and any shots given after I feed the baby. This is a yes for us. We are someone who believes in vaccinations, the eye drops, all of that, so he will be getting all of that just to protect his little body. So that is a must for us. Have the 24-hour early discharge if I meet the criteria. That I'm not going to be checking. It is our first baby, and we've been told that typically with the first baby, they like to keep you for at least 48 hours for birth. And so we will probably be taking advantage of that just because it's our first. With our second, we'll probably know more what to expect and want to go home immediately after, but we want all the help with the lactation specialists and nurses and doctors that we can fully take advantage of while we have it. So we will stay the time allotted to us. So no, 24-hour early discharge probably will not happen for us. And which is the next one is stay 48 hours after delivery. And like I've been told, with your firstborn, that is typically the standard. If it is your second, third, fourth, so on, the turnaround time is a lot different. Moving on to the second to last category, feeding baby. So it says, I plan on breastfeeding my baby. I plan on bottle feeding my baby. For those, we fully intend to breastfeed baby primarily. We don't really want to give them a bottle starting out because we don't want any sort of nipple confusion or anything like that. So we're really hoping that breastfeeding works for us. But we are going to bring a bottle just in case for that scenario that it doesn't happen or something happens to me and we have to bottle feed. So there's that. I do not want my baby given a pacifier. We're going to try to avoid, he obviously has lots of pacifiers, but we're going to try to avoid them as long as possible. Obviously, especially when it comes to like the breastfeeding and stuff like that, we want that to be successful. So if possible, we don't want to give him a pacifier, although I do have a couple packed in our hospital bag, just in case. And then final on feeding is, I'm aware that NH Guam provides breastfeeding support and has a certified lactation consultant. yes, and I hopefully will be taking full advantage of the lactation consultant so that I am successful from the start. I've also been told that all of the nurses are trained in lactation. Now everyone has a varying degree of what that looks like and answers and whatnot, but everyone should be kind of trained to be able to help you is what I've been told. I don't know how true that is. Like I said, I'll have to do an update and a birth story for you guys, but that is what I've been told. And then the final category that they give you on birth options is circumcision. So it is, I'm unsure about circumcision and would like more information. I do not want my baby boy to be circumcised, or I would like my baby to be circumcised. For us, I know this is a controversial topic and I'm sure I'm going to get some debate in the comments below, but we are choosing to circumcise. That is something that me and my spouse have talked about, and I think the answer to that is just to do whatever you believe in, what you think is right. I think a lot of times it has to do with how dad was and that things like that. So we are choosing to circumcise. End of discussion there. But yeah, that is the flyer that we received from Naval Hospital Guam on our birth options and how we want our birth to go. Now, I've been told my mother-in-law was a labor and delivery nurse for many, many, many years, and she told me, don't worry about a birth plan. Baby's got a mind of his own and he ain't gonna follow any birth plan. But I still think that it's good to have an idea of the things that you want and a hope to go in your delivery. So I think this is a great outline for what our wants are for labor and delivery, and yeah, it gives a good direction on what it's gonna look like. So I am excited. Like I said, we only have 2.5 weeks left, so basically we're just playing a waiting game of when he decides to bless us with his arrival, and we are as ready as we can be. My hospital bag is pretty much packed. I've got a couple more things to kind of wrap up and then like a last minute list of things to throw in. I will probably be filming a what's in our hospital bags video. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down below. I also need to do my final pregnancy update of just like the symptoms that I've been dealing with or how I've been feeling in this 3rd trimester, which is great, by the way. Mine is a few little bumps in the road, but we're feeling good. So we're ready. If you like my videos, don't forget to give this a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. And I will see you next Friday for another video. Bye guys.